screen that says we are recording when it starts recording. It takes a minute or two. There we go. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to present screen. And this is the way that I do things. I present screen, and I got to pick the screen because I'm looking at three screens. And there we go. You should be able to see my screen. Tell me if you can see my screen. Somebody say yes or no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this is Math 120. And I'm just going to go in, and the last email I sent you was yesterday. Okay, the last email I sent you was yesterday's email, and you can get it out and follow along. And I'm just going to hit on some highlights. The reason I'm going over this email first is because this email actually, tells you a lot of information for today. Number one, I do not use Blackboard. Okay, I don't use it because half the time it's down. Okay, does everybody understand that? Half the time it's down. So I don't rely on it. Although Tri-County Tech thinks it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So they're going to use it for a lot of stuff. One of the things that they use it for is to register into Mylabsplus or My Math Lab or My Accounting Lab or whatever goes with your course. Some courses have a support website. Some courses do not. If your course has a support website, then you have to register into it. And you do with the math courses. And that's called MyLabs Math. In order to go to MyLabs Math, I will show you. And we'll go to Blackboard. And of course, you can log on to Blackboard today and your courses should come up because today is the what? First day of class. As the emails that I've sent you say, you will not be able to see your courses until the first day of class. And y'all are Math 12010. And this is what your Blackboard should look like. And then you go over here and there is the Mylabsplus. Now, I sent you a handout that goes over what you should do, but I'm going to try to do it as far as I can because I'm not a student. You click on Mylabsplus, or I'm sorry, MyLabs Math. We've been using Mylabsplus for the last 5 years, okay? They're changing it, and when I say Mylabsplus, I mean MyLabs Math, okay? Click on MyLabs Math. Click on it again. Go find your course. Of course, you're not going to have 6 courses. You're going to have just one course. Hit View Course Material and hit the Launch Publisher website and then hit the orange button. Make sure you hit the orange button. There's the orange button. And when you hit that, you're in Mylabsplus. I'm sorry, MyLabs Math. Okay, now see, that took me 5-10 seconds. Some of you, it will take 3 days. Some of you, it will take a week. And you'll have to call the help desk 5 or 6 times. I don't know what some of y'all do, but some of y'all could break an amble with a banana. And I don't mean you in here. I mean some students. Some of y'all, I ain't kidding you. Y'all could break an amble with a banana. I mean, something as simple as that. Y'all can, I mean, I'm not talking about just the 15 in here. I'm talking about in general. I got some students can't spell mom backwards. Y'all need to work on that, okay? Make sure you can spell mom backwards, please. Or race car backwards. You know, race car backwards spell race car. All right. So anyway, there's your homework. You hit homework, and we'll go over this. We'll go over this later, okay? But there's your homework, and there's your test. Test should not show up, except for the practice test. That's the only thing. My test should not show up yet. So there's grade book. What's grade book? Well, that's where your grades are. Duh. Chapter contents. There's your ebook. If you don't want to buy it, we'll go over that Monday or Tuesday, whenever we have class again, okay? I'll try to get into that today because y'all are an hour and a half class. So I go over more material with an hour and a half class. But anyway, that's it. Did you see how many buttons I hit? I hit like 4 buttons. Mylabs Math, Mylabs Math. And then the green button and the green button and the orange button. I think that was 5 buttons. Like I said, some of y'all, it'll be 2 weeks before y'all get it. Okay. Now let's go back to the email. There we go. Sorry about that. I do not use Blackboard, but make sure you register. And once you get on Mylabs Math, once you get on it, once you see the homework and the test, then you can go to this website and bypass Blackboard. Sign in, it automatically keeps my password, and there y'all are, 12010. Where's 12010? There it is, 12010. You'll click on it, and you'll go into it. Now, I would highly suggest that you use that website. Why? Because when Blackboard is down, you can use that website. Capiche? Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they had, let me send this. She's helping me out at the Anderson campus. Thank you for dealing with people that don't read their emails. I'm sorry. And a lot of you saying, oh, well, he's very harsh on people that don't read your emails. It's 2021. We have people actually doing remote control cars, rovers on Mars. That, I don't check my email. That went out back in 2003, 2002. It's not cute anymore. Okay, you're putting a sign around your neck. I ain't gonna say what the sign says, but you need to get with the program. And I'm not talking to y'all because y'all, I'm just saying, if you're going to start an online class, a hybrid class, or a sync class, which means virtual, all 3 of those are virtual. If you're going to start one of those classes, you should check your email every day, a week before classes start. Every day. And if your teachers ain't smart enough to send it a week before, then that's another story. But anyway. All right, so let's go back to the email and let's go through, and I do this because you have to. I mean, you really do have to. So y'all just bear with me. I don't go through the handouts every word for word, but I do go over some of the handouts. Okay, Math 120 and Math 12011. Your enrollment has increased. As of this morning, 12010 has 19 or 20. Well, 19. I think Miss Gill is in another class. Miss Gill, which class are you in?
I'm in the 540 class.
Okay, she's in the 540 class, so I don't count her. But I have 19 on the roll. The class that we meet in right now holds 9. Okay, I may have to move the class because I'm going to have 10 people to team in. So I may have to move that classroom because in the last 2 or 3 days, this enrollment has went like from 10 to like 19. So I may have to move the class if I don't get 10 people to team in. And let's talk about this. I just want to give a who in this class, and I want you to, up at the top right here, hold on. Up at the top right here, see that? That's where you raise your hand. When I ask you to do this, hit that button. Just hit it one time. And you hit it again to turn it off. It's a toggle. If they don't know what a toggle is, well, we're not even going there. Anyway, how many of you have no problem with teaming in like we're doing right now? Raise your hand. Okay, we got 10 right there. So, okay, everybody in the class, pretty much. Okay, you can turn them off now, or except for about 5 people. So that means Tuesday, if you want to team in instead of coming to class, that's good. How many of you would be interested in doing that Tuesday? Raise your hand. I see how many we got. And leave it up so I can count them. How many Tuesday would be okay with teaming in? Oh, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, then go ahead and team in Tuesday, and that way the rest of you that want to meet, you can take your hands down now. The rest of you that want to meet can meet in AC 137. Okay, but I need you to hold to that, because if y'all show up, then we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have to move to another room, and that's gonna be a cluster. Okay, so I will call you from AC 137. It may look a little, no, I don't think it'll look different because I'm gonna log into Teams as mine, so it'll look just like it did today. So that takes care of number 3. All right, 4, please look at your schedule the morning you start your classes. Room numbers change. My room numbers change because I fit my room to my class. If I have 10 people in a classroom, I'm gonna get the smallest room I could find, because there's nothing worse than sitting in a BA room with only 5 people in it. It's kind of cold and yucky, so I don't like that, especially if the class meets. So with 120s, all of y'all are. I don't understand why they did these hybrid classes, because the whole COVID realm is what? Stay away from everybody. Okay, so we did these sync classes, and I've been doing these sync classes for 3 years. Okay, and right in the middle, they say like, okay, COVID's still here. We're doing sync classes. Nobody sees each other. Nobody gets near each other. Let's go ahead and do some hybrid classes where people can come into the classroom. Now think about that. I don't understand it. But anyway, the whole COVID thing, don't even get me started on that. I'm gonna just be quiet. Just so everyone's on the same sheet of music, Wednesday through Friday, all my 120s will be teaming in. Y'all will be teaming in on Thursday, mandatory. Not mandatory on Tuesday, because I have to leave that room open in case somebody wants to show up. Okay? All my sync classes will team in for each class. Okay, that's the Math 103, the 155, and the 130. Videos are outside of the class and do not rate attendance. So if you watch the video, that does not mean that I'm going to give you an attendance. I can't keep up with that. So that's self-explanatory. The videos are used to supplement and for missed classes. Classes will activate on Blackboard and Mylabsplus, Mylabs Math, tomorrow, Thursday. Now, I sent that in another email also about a week ago. I will initiate the team call. Nobody else initiates the call. Where it says at the top, meet, that's for me. That's not for y'all. Because if you hit that, basically you're going to start a meeting. So I know some of y'all didn't know that this morning, and that's okay. But do not hit that right here. Do not hit that button. Okay, you wait for me to hit it, and then you'll receive a call. This is the post. This is where everybody, this is the bulletin board for the class. This is the file button. That's where all my handouts are. Therefore, you can't say I didn't get the email. That don't work. I know I'm a bastard, but you know, it don't work. Excuses don't work in my class. Okay, so there's all that. It's under files. And I'll be adding Mylabs Math up here. I'll be adding that website so you can actually go to it through Teams and not have to go through all the stuff that you have to go through Blackboard. Okay, so there's all that. So let me move that back over. Let me go back to the class. Sorry, hold on. Move that over back here. And I usually send messages, and y'all saw that this morning. I sent y'all messages saying, okay, I'm going to send the call in a few minutes. And I do that to let you know that you're on Teams, everything's good. I'm going to send you the call in a few minutes. Okay, doesn't mean start hitting buttons whenever doesn't mean that. No, don't hit buttons. Just wait until you see something. What does it say when I call you? Somebody tell me what does it say?
There's a little message in the chat and it says join meeting.
Okay. All right. Good. I didn't know that. Okay. So that's that email. Breathe and stay calm. Now, a lot of y'all say, why does he keep putting stuff like that? Because some of y'all are Hammy the squirrel. Okay? Who is Hammy the squirrel? We're going to type that in because some of y'all are not familiar with Hammy the squirrel. There's Hammy the squirrel. And this is what some of y'all look like when y'all get excited about something. When's the test? When's the test? When's the homework? When's the homework? Okay? This, I do not like hammies. Okay? I need y'all to, I told you, I've taken medication before. Okay? For stuff like that. So I need you to take your medication and chill out. I do not trick you. I do not give you assignments the day before. I do not do that. I know some of you are conditioned in grades 1 through 12 to have some crazy teacher give you a test after you went over the chapter yesterday. Have you had one like that before? Or you've had a test on chapter 3 and you haven't even gone over chapter 2 yet. All right? That I don't do. Has anybody, I don't think anybody has had me before because this is a 120 class. Has anybody had me before, heard about me, or went to rate my professor? One of the three. Raise your hand if you did. All right? I'm not going to ask you. I'm scared to look at rate my professor. I'm scared. What did they say? Just say a few words. You don't have to get into like a paragraph or anything. Or what have you heard? Or if you had me before, what was my class like? One of those three things. Tell me.
I had you last semester.
Okay, what did you have me for? 103? What class?
110.
Okay, that's college algebra. That's a much harder class than this class. One word, describe my teaching style / teaching methods. What one word?
Easygoing.
Easygoing. Was that Miss Yarborough or Miss Gill? Miss Yarborough had it. Miss Yarborough. Anybody else? Speak up. I want somebody to speak up. Not for my ego. That's because if you saw something bad or heard something bad, I'd like to hear that too.
One of my friends said you were fun.
What did you say?
I said one of my friends said that you were fun.
Well, I try to be fun. I can't be fun on the first day of class because some of y'all can't handle that. Some of y'all, you know the type in the classroom that can't handle fun. Try not to be fun the first couple of days, but we do have fun in class. One more. What did somebody else hear or see or what? One word.
I went on my my teacher rate or whatever you call it.
Rate my professor.
Yeah, and they basically said that you're amazing and that you should have no problem in your class.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't look at rate my professor because I'm scared to. I'm scared to look at evaluations and rate my professor. I'm scared to. But the reason I'm confident is because I live by one rule in the classroom. I treat students the way I would want to be treated. Now, the first day or two, I may come off as a Marine drill instructor. Okay. Well, that's kind of self-explanatory because I was in the Marine Corps. But I treat students the way I want to be treated. I don't want somebody telling me that I've got a test tomorrow. I don't want somebody telling me that I'm giving you a test on 1 through 3, and we've only been through half of chapter 2. It's up to you to figure out the rest of chapter 2 and chapter 3. Okay? I don't want to be treated like that, so I don't do that. Also, since you brought up Rate My Professor, Miss Gill, I tell all my students and my advisees, check the first day of class for your teacher. If your teacher has a 1.99 or below, get the hell out of it. Okay? You're in college. You're going to have to do a lot by yourself. If you have a 1.99 or worse, oh my gosh, you're going to be climbing uphill both ways. Okay? You're going to have some help from the teacher. And 1.99 and below out of 5, it's not worth it. It's not worth your tuition being wasted. And I know I had some students last semester, some advisees. They go, oh, well, I could just grin and bear it. They're retaking the classes over because they had a 1.8 and they said, well, I'll just go ahead and try it. They're taking classes over. And you know what they told me when we did pre-registration? I wish I'd have listened to you and done Rate My Professor more seriously. 1.99 or below, get out. Drop, get out, take another class. Do not take a teacher that's 1.99 or below out of 5. Okay? All right. So don't be a hammy. I treat students the way you want to be treated. So I'm not going to set you up. Okay? So let's get rid of hammy. I don't like hammy. Okay. So let's look at the handouts. Hello, spring students. Let's look at that one. I don't think I'm really going to go over anything there, but let's see. Hold on. There it is. Okay, you should have already done your 2 assignments. A lot of people wonder why I don't use Zoom. Well, other than China owns it and everything you do goes to China, I don't really care about an unsecure website, and Zoom is unsecure as far as Tri-County Tech goes. Okay? That's why I don't use it. The only two secure, whatever you call these, virtual carriers is the Blackboard something. It's on Blackboard. It doesn't work half the time. And Teams. And Skype for Business, which is the old Teams. Skype for Business is made by Microsoft just like Teams is. So it's going away. After this year, it's probably going to be gone. Okay, so Teams, Skype for Business, and the thing on Blackboard, those 3 are secure through Tri-County Tech. In other words, the stuff that we use to help protect our stuff at Tri-County Tech protects those 2 things. Zoom is not protected. So I don't know if your teachers use Zoom, and that's fine, but I just don't want everybody knowing what I'm doing, and I don't want somebody, and this happened. One class 2 semesters ago, they just got interrupted by somebody, and they started putting videos on, and it wasn't even somebody from this area. It was somebody from BFE, and they just broke into the class and started watching and started showing videos. Okay, if you need help with anything, the Tri-County Tech, that means Teams, that means email, that means registration. That's the help desk. That's why I put it on the handout. Now, the help desk will not help you with My Labs Math. My Labs Math, I'll give you the 1-800 number when we go over My Labs Math, which will be toward the end of class today or Tuesday. I will give you that number, but that's a 1888 number, okay? And make sure you go to YouTube. For those of you that don't know, I'm on YouTube and I'll show you the classes. YouTube. And I'm going to look up Hubert McClure. And you click on the pink shirt. And go under my last name, hit playlist. And there is the most recent classes. Now that's last semester, 2020-10. This is 2020-20. Okay? 2020-20. This is the second semester in fiscal year 2020. All right? So your class will be called Math 120-10 2020-20. And it'll be on this first row up here after class. It'll probably be this afternoon when I load it. But that's the way. But if you want to watch the first 2 days of class, you go to the first 120 you come to, which will be this one, which was last semester. Hit View Playlist. And they're in chronological order. First day, second day. Now, these are two classes. They were back to back. One was 9 to 10. The other one's 10 to 11 or something like that. So I just put them on the same. So first day, second day. Here's where I started the first chapter. Here's where I was in the first chapter and starting the second chapter, 2.1. Here's where I did chapter 1 and 2. I'm sorry, it's review. I'm sorry. Chapter 2 continued. Chapter 3.2, this is where I went into chapter 3 and 3.2, 3.4, and so on. So I usually name my videos so you can follow them, and they're usually in chronological order. Your class on YouTube will start today. It'll show whatever we went over today. These are for your support. There's two people that watch these videos. One, the person that misses class and can't team in. The second person is the person that needs to go over the material again. Most of you have had Math 120 before. You usually take it your senior year because they don't want you to take pre-calculus because they don't want you to fail, okay, or calculus. So they give you Math 120 so you can make an A in it. So the school will look good and you keep your grade point average up, okay? So Math 120 is very familiar to some people. I would say probably 80% of the classes that I teach have had probability of statistics in high school. So most of you are not going to use these videos, but the 10 to 20% that have never had probability of statistics, let me tell you, you're going to use the videos whenever you don't understand something. And I will tell you this, I have had, and this is, I want everybody to listen to this, I have had students that made A's in probability and statistics in high school take Math 120 at Tri-County Tech and fail. Okay? I'm just telling you, it can happen. Okay? So that's the videos. Let's go back to the handout. Well, there we go. That's pretty much it. Let's go back to get rid of that handout. The third email. Let's see what's on that one. Downloaded Teams. We've already went over that. Okay, and man, I don't have to go over that. I just want to make sure I cover everything. And a lot of you saying, golly, he sure does repeat things. Well, I have to. your students. Okay. This is when I was telling you that all the files, all the handouts that I've given you are on Teams under the file right here. So that's real short and sweet. Let's see, 6th email. Let's see. This is where I told you that your first day of class, your classes will not open until the first day of class. Of course, I had about 5 or 6 students not read that because they emailed me and said, I can't find my class on Blackboard. Well, read the email. Okay? Check your email the first week of class and print out whatever teachers send you. This is a general, not just math. Okay, now I want to go ahead and talk about this because I have 2 family situations. One is my mother just came off a real bad illness in December, and she's 81 years old, and I'm kind of taking care of her because my sister, she's in ill health too, so I'm having to take care of her. Okay, so I have to leave and do breakfast, lunch, and supper and help her with that until she gets back. She's doing a whole lot better now. My son is doing virtual classes, and he is here every other week. So I have to be here, to help him out, if he needs it, blah, blah, blah. So on Monday and Tuesday, when I'm coming home from Anderson campus between my 8 o'clock class and my 9 o'clock class or whatever, I may run a little bit late, just like you may run a little bit late. So I usually send out a message on the bulletin board if I'm going to be 5 or 10 minutes late starting classes. So always check the bulletin board before you start, you have to go there because that's where it comes through. All right. Hold on a second. Let me get back to where I was. Okay. Why? For some reason. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. Let's see. Where was I? My Word document just disappeared. It's a conspiracy. That's what it is. It's a conspiracy. All right. So I am very lenient with you as students. So I don't ask that you be lenient with me. The only thing I ask is if I'm a few minutes late for class, it's usually because of travel time between AC and here, which is about 5 minutes, or I'm coming from my mother's house, which is across the farm here. So that's it. Okay. Please make sure you print out and read the handouts. Please be patient with all your instructors because some of them, we do have some adjuncts that's never taught in the virtual format. Okay, so please be patient with them. 7th email. Now, the reason I cover these emails and handouts is to show you that I cover my bases. I mean, I bet y'all sit there and go, good gosh, how many more emails is he going to send me? How many more handouts is he going to send me? Well, you're here, aren't you? You're here in teams, aren't you? So they must serve their purpose. Okay, you're not walking around like a deadhead going, my teacher is 120 teacher. Am I supposed to meet? Okay, the emails work. You just have to read them. All right, they may be repetitive, but there's a reason for that. This is how we team in. Here's the correct procedure. This is the way it's supposed to be done. You download Teams. You log into Teams before class. If you have any trouble with your, getting your computer configured to Teams, you call the help desk. On the first day of class, you log into Teams, make sure your status is available, and wait for my message/call. That's all there is to it. It doesn't say that you have to mash any buttons. Do not mash the meet button. It doesn't say that there anywhere. Okay, that's it. And notice that the adverb before is in a lot of these sentences because you need to prepare for class by reading the emails. Okay, that's all. Let's see. Here is the Math 120. There's the syllabi. I'll pull that up in just a second. Mylabs math handout. There it is. There it shows you Blackboard. There's the Mylabsplus. I already showed it to you. And there's your launch. There's the 2 green buttons. And then the orange button. Okay, it might ask you for that. And then the orange button. There's the orange button. Now, once you've hit the orange button, you can go to that website. Like tomorrow, go to the website. You can go through that website. Okay? And you can read the rest of it. There's help and support. Download diagnostics. That's just all the information. Okay, the most important is that orange button. Make sure you hit that orange button. After that, technically you're registered into the course on MyLabs Math. Okay, so make sure you read that handout if you haven't gone to MyLabs Math yet. And that's all the handouts that I've sent to date, except for the syllabus. Now, the syllabus is really worthless because the only reason the syllabus is written the way it's written is for the, okay, we're supposed to have a syllabus here. This is the outline. This is not the syllabus. But anyway, let's go ahead and pull up the shortened one because the shortened one is the one you need to click on. Which one says shortened? Okay, that's it. Okay, here is the syllabi. The syllabi is worthless because it's written for those people in Columbia that, you know, sit behind a desk. Okay, so you can't understand half of what it says. Bureaucrats. But you do need to understand this, and you need to understand this. Now, does anybody know anything different about this semester? Has anybody heard anything different about this semester?
You got a work email.
Somebody's complaining. Anybody? Has anybody heard anything different or special about this semester?
No.
I couldn't hear you.
No.
Okay. One is shortened. I have no idea why it's shortened. And 2, this is the first semester that Tri-County is not doing finals week. So write those down. 1, it's a shortened semester. 2, this is the first time that Tri-County is not doing finals week. Will be on the last day of class. And I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do it. Usually I give the final exam and the last test the last week of finals. I may do that the last week of class. So I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, and a lot will depend on how far we are into the last unit by that second to the last week. Okay? Also, write this down. Just ignore the final exam. Well, the final exam will count as a regular test. 20%, 80%, well, 70%, write this down, is unit test. That includes the final exam. All your tests count the same. So if you had 5 tests, that'd be 20% for each test for that grade, for your test grade. Homework is always 20% in my class. So that's 70% or 90%. 70 plus 20 is 90, and 10% will be your project. Don't spaz on the project. I got to send you that information. But the project is basically buy a bag of candy or a bag of cookies or a bag of whatever that has different colors or different shapes, count it out and make some graphs and do the mean, median, and mode. It's not very difficult. Okay. I don't really care nothing about it. We're told to do it by those people above us, so I really don't care about it. I just tell students to do it, and I'm very liberal with my grading on it, so everybody pretty much makes an A unless you don't turn it in. And then you make a 50 if you don't turn it in. I'm not very hip on that project. Okay? So there's the syllabus. Now, what is the most important? The most important handout is well, where is it? Okay, hold on a second. I've been having a problem. For some reason, on my screen, my hold on a second. Let's try that again. Sometimes these documents don't show up, and that's why I had to close that window out. This is the most important page of all the handouts. And the last page is really what I care about, because I didn't write this. Somebody else wrote this. This does not pertain. Most of it pertains to my class, but some of it don't. So I didn't write this. But the outline, this is the most important page right here. So you need to print this out. I would copy and paste it onto one page right here. And let's just copy and paste it. Copy, file, new, and paste. That's what I would do. Because, and you can take out that exam, just keep it on one page. This tells you what you're going to be doing. This is like the template, the model, the Bible for this course. This is the most important page. If there's any page that you need to print out and put in your notebook, it's this page. Right now, as I told you in one of the handouts, you're in 120, you need to be reading chapters 1 and 2 right now. Okay, you need to be reading that. 20% of your Unit 1 test comes from chapters 1 and 2. 80% comes from chapter 3. So we're going to get rid of this chapter 1 and 2 material real quick. Okay, so make sure you read over that material. I'm going to start either Tuesday or late Tuesday in class with chapter 1. I'm going to start the presentations because I should be through with going over all the logistics of class and the logistics of Mylabs math and get all that done. Because some of you have never seen Mylabs math before. Some of you right out of high school, so you haven't seen it. Okay, so you don't know how the homework works, you don't know how the test works, you don't know how any of that stuff works. Okay, so that's what everybody should be working on right now. Now, what about a book? You can buy a book, steal a book, borrow a book. I don't care. Math does not change. It may be a different chapter in another book, but the titles are going to be pretty much close together. So if you, let's say that Miss Glenn, I'm just looking, she's the second person right there. Let's say that Miss Glenn has a sister that took Math 120 at their local college, and it's a totally different book than this book. Well, she could actually go through the table of contents and match up these. This may be in chapter 3, this may be in chapter 4. Now, that's a hard way to do things, but you can do it. The other is an old book of Sullivan, which that's what we use. That's better. Or a used book of Sullivan's 5th edition. That's even easier. Or buy a new book. Or use the ebook. I'll show you how to use the ebook. I'm going to show you right quick So that way some of you can start, but I'm into it Tuesday or the end of this class. I doubt very seriously I'm going to get to it. There it is right there, e-text. You hit the e-text button. You pick which chapter and unit you want to go to. It does take a minute to pull the whole book up. So that's about 300 or 400 pages. I don't know how many pages y'all have, but click on the menu. Go down to chapter 1. Click on 1.1. Close this out. And you can print it out right here. Prints out 1 page at a time. Each unit is about either 8 to 10 pages. And that's for you. If you want to read online, you can read online. Some of you have the tablets, just like reading a book. Some of you have a laptop that you can turn 360 degrees. You can use that, or you can print it out, or you can just read it on the laptop sitting down. I don't care how you do it. You can have a totally different book. You can have an older edition. You can have a used book. You can have a new book, or you can have an ebook. I don't really care which one you choose, but that's what you have a choice of. Chapter 1 and 2, make sure you read it. Does anybody have any questions about with 1 and 2? I'm starting to get irritated. I'm going to have to call tech support because I usually, while you were in full screen mode, what? Oh, no, I don't want that. Go away. Oh, Lord. Anyway, I don't know. See, I don't know what happens to my, they just disappear. My Word documents just disappear. I don't know where they go. Okay, I don't know what we were looking at. We were looking at the outline, so let me just pull it up from my and see this thing changes. Last time I looked at my stuff, it was in details, and now it's done changed. I don't know how it's changing. I ain't changing it. But anyway, I'm venting. Sorry. Okay, Math 120.
It shows that you have 2 Word documents at the bottom. I don't know if
Where?
like next to your team logo thingy at the bottom, there's like a W with like a little page looking thing.
Thank you. Thank you. I didn't even see that. Thank you. I usually do better than that, but today's the first day, so leave me alone. I think that's my page right there. So thank you. Chapter 3, we'll probably be getting into chapter 3 probably after Tuesday. I don't know how fast I'm going to get through 1 and 2. And then when we get to 3, that's when I start slowing down and start doing the math. 1 and 2 is a lot of definitions and vocabulary words. You know, the dark word, and then it's got the definition. That's what a lot of chapter 1 and 2 is. So now, Hubert, okay, this is very important that I tell you this because this follows under the realms of following directions. Does anybody see 2.4 on the outline? I'll blow it up a little bit. Does anybody see 2.4 on the outline? So you don't read 2.4. What a concept. The outline tells you what to do. Why? Well, let's say that I go over 1.4 and 1.5 today. I go over 1.1, 1.2, 1.4, and 1.5 today. Not only do you have the video on YouTube that shows you, but what if you missed that day? Well, you go to the video and you watch the video and you say, okay, he went to 1.5. So what do you think I'm going to go over next in class? I'm going to go over 2.1. Now, I know that a lot of you are sitting there going, well, why is he telling us this? Because there are some people that take these classes and they do not understand what this outline is for. They think it's something just to put in the front of your notebook. No, you use it for when you're absent. You use it to see where we are as far as the test goes. Okay, he's on 3.4. Oh my gosh, we only got one more section before the Unit 1 test. That's for all the hammies. That's for all the people. When's test? When's test? When's test? When we gonna have a test? When we gonna have a test? You don't start asking about a test until we get to when? 3.5. That's when you need to start asking about a test. And the way I usually do it, excuse me, the way I usually do it, and I want everybody to listen to this. When we get to 3.5, let's say we get to 3.5 and class ends. Then I will say at the end of class, I'll say, okay, we're going to go over the test and homework questions for 3.5. We're going to go over that Tuesday. Okay, this is a joke. This is an example, people, because somebody's going to go home tonight and write me an email and say, do we have a test Tuesday? Okay, you're not listening. Okay, 3.5 in the class, we're going to have homework, and I'll go over the test. I will actually pull the test up. Miss Yarborough, will I not?
Yeah, you will.
I'll pull up the Unit 1 test, and we will go through it. Right, Miss Yarborough?
Yes, sir.
Is it going to be the same as the test you take? No, I'm not an idiot, okay? I'm not going to show you the test and then give you the same test. It will be very similar, but it will not be the exact test, okay? I will go over the test, and then I will assign the test dates, and then I will assign the homework dates. So the homework is open until I go over the test. Now, Miss Yarborough, you're the only person that's had me before, unless somebody else has. Does this work really well?
Yes, it does. It makes it real easy.
Okay, some of y'all are going to break an amble with a banana. 2 or 3 of y'all are going to make this difficult. I don't know why, but y'all do. Okay, I'm going to get to the end of chapter 2. I'm going to get on 2.3, and it's going to be toward the end of class, and you're going to raise your hand in the virtual classroom, and I'm going to call on you, and you're going to say, when's the test? And then I'm not going to reply. I'm going to say, I have no idea. If I don't reply to you, or if I say I have no idea, what does that usually mean? It means that I have already told you when the test is. When is the test? After we cover what?
3.5.
That means you, as students, are going to have to read. I know this is awful. Some of you are going to have to read the outline weekly, or heaven forbid, daily. Okay? I know I say okay a lot, but what else you want me to say? Okay? I'll just quit saying. There's the outline. We got 4 tests. I usually don't break them up, so it's pretty self-explanatory. And we have cut out some sections that we don't need. And I'm glad, because there's a couple of sections I really don't like going over. Chapter 8, we cut that out. And chapter 10.3 and 10.4, we cut that out because it is a shortened semester. This page, you need to print it out and put it at the front of your notebook. The most important page in the class. This is right here. And 80% of you will do what I tell you. The other 10, 20%, they're going to be the ones that ask the DA questions. And I will not respond, and I will not reply to them. Okay, questions so far on anything I've covered? And that pretty much covers all the emails and all the handouts that I've sent you, except for my class courtesies and me. And I'm going to go over that just a little bit. I'm just going to look at it. I'm not going to go into it with detail. And that would be Hubert McClure. And there is my sheet that tells you about me. Now, why do I do this? Because I feel good about myself. Yeah, I do. But the reason I do this is because I believe in a comfortable learning environment, a comfortable classroom. I do not believe in the cold college professor talks and students listen, and I don't do that. Okay, so the first day, I tell you a little bit about myself because I do not want to be that teacher that you walk out of the classroom and your parents or your friend says, "Who do you have? What's your teacher's name?" I don't know. Okay, if you walk out of my classroom the first day and you don't know my name, I haven't done my job. Okay, I haven't done my job correctly because you should know a little bit about your teacher. You should at least know their first name or their last name. Okay, but you know what I'm talking about. If you've been in college before, there are teachers that will talk for an hour and a half and you don't know anything when you walk out of the room. Okay, so gives you a little bit about myself. I'm not going to go through all that, but it gives you a little bit about me. All right, notice there's my cell number. That used to be the primary way of communicating with me. Now it's Teams because Teams goes to my phone. So if I'm sitting in front of my computer here at my house, I'll get your message. Or if I'm outside on the farm or in the parking lot, I'll get it on my phone because I have Teams on my phone. Which you can do also because Teams, you have up to 5 or 7, I can't remember, 5 or 7 devices that you can put Teams on. And I would highly suggest that you put it on a portable device, whether it's an iPad or a whatever the other ones are called, and a tablet or your phone. Okay? All right. That's a little bit about that. So I'll take that off. Locator card. Why do I give you my locator card? To let you know how many classes I have. We used to give locator cards for office hours, but now we just give them to let you know when we're not in class. The best time to contact me outside of class would be in these areas right here. 2:30, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and 11, Tuesday and Thursday. Now I do have a class tonight at 5:40. So just remember that, okay? Say like if it's 2:30 and you're working on a homework problem and you need some help. 2:30, just send me a text or a message through Teams. Hubert, are you near a computer? I need to go over some problems. Usually I don't have office hours. Does anybody know why? Well, the reason I don't have office hours is the way that I do Mylabs math and your homework and your Ask My Instructor, I use the classroom for office hours. And I will get into that later when I go over Mylabsplus. But that's my locator card. That's for you to know when I have class so that you don't send me an email or a text in the middle of class, which it doesn't matter if you do. I don't mind it. But that's just what this is for. Academic calendar. This is the second most important page of the class. Why? Because this is where you take these dates and transfer them to your, I got to zoom, hold on a second, to your calendar. What dates are important? Well, we are section A. So first day of class is today. Okay. Last day to drop a class in session A. You need to put that. It's Monday, the 25th. You need to write that down. Last day to drop. I don't know what's the difference there and there. Note below. Refund. Okay. I think if you drop before Monday, you get 100% refund. I don't know why they have. Okay. Last day to add classes. What else is? Advising, pre-registration for the summer and the fall. That's important for you. You got to meet with your advisor so you can get classes. Why do you need to do it early? Some of you that are students here, why do you do it early?
So you can get the classes that you want.
Before they what? Before they fill up. Okay. I've had 3 advisees text me, call me, team me. I can't get into class. I can't get into English 101, English 102. Well, they waited too long. They're full. So the early bird gets the worm. Over here, here's 3 important dates. Last day of class. Write that down. Friday, April what? 30th. So that means, do you come to class on Friday? No. So what is y'all's last day of class?
Thursday the 29th.
Thank you. Thank you for putting that together, Miss Gill. I appreciate that. I will have students. I used to, when we had face-to-face classes, I would have Tuesday, Thursday students show up on Friday. I don't know why. That is also the day of your exam. Now, I usually give the last week of class for your exam. So chances are I'm going to give you that last week to take and I'll have class open for people with questions or whatever, but I will give you probably that last week to do that last test or final exam, or I may put the final exam and the last test. I may merge them and make it just one test. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if this is a dumb question or not, but for test days, would we come to class even though we have like a restriction in the classroom?
No, my tests are online.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I knew that. Sorry.
Don't worry about it. I will go over that Tuesday with y'all. But all my tests are online. So everything I do is online, and everything I do is in Mylabs math. So don't be one of those students that send me an email. I can't find your assignments on Blackboard. I don't reply. I don't reply to an email like that, because if you have gotten 7 of my handouts and you haven't figured out by 2 of those handouts, I say I don't use Blackboard. I use Mylab. If you can't read, then I'm sorry. All right. Grades due. Write that down. Thursday, May the 6th at 9 a.m. Because I want you to know that I only have 2 days, or let's see, a few days. Well, I got 6 days. Wow. We usually don't have that. We usually just have 2 days. I like this calendar committee. They're thinking. We got 5 or 6 days to get our grades in. Okay, so your grades will be posted no later than May the 6th at 9 a.m. Then graduation for those that need it, May the 11th. So those are 5 or 6 dates that you need to write down in your calendar or put in your phone. Okay, that's why I send you the academic calendar. I don't do it for my health. Hubert's class courtesies. I'm just going to skim over this because I know that some of y'all are going to start self-combusting here in about 5 minutes. So I know that you're going to convulsing, start doing the funky chicken. All right. I don't want you doing that. So I want you to read over this, because my number one rule is, now this was written for a in-class test. I mean, an in-class session method, format. So where it says cell phones, that's in class. Texting, that's in class. You're in your own territory. You do whatever the hell you want to do. Okay? But just realize that, if you're going to play during my class, just turn the camera off so I don't see you. Okay? Please do that. All right? I like seeing people. I like seeing camera. I like seeing your camera on. Okay? I'm not going to make you turn your camera on, but I'd like for you to turn your camera on. But if you're going to, gaff off my class, just turn it off so I don't see you. Okay? Attendance. As long as you team in, as long as you come to class on face-to-face for the 120s, I will say you're here. I got to do that here in just a second. All right? The only thing I cannot do is give you a present or give you attendance for watching a video. I can't do that because I can't keep up with it. So those of you, those 10 or 12 that said you don't mind Skyping in or teaming in Tuesday, please team in, because that leaves about 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 that can actually come into the room, that want to come into the room. And I will tell you who those people are. Those people either live right beside the Anderson campus, or they have a class before or after my class. That's why they didn't put teaming in as a, some of y'all, how many of y'all are outside of Anderson? Just speak up. Anybody outside of Anderson?
Yes.
Where are you, Miss Glenn?
Hartwell.
Hartwell. Oh my gosh, I love Hartwell. I love Livonia. I love Royston. Oh, I love them. I love to go down there. That's what Anderson used to be like. Miss Moon, where are you?
Honeypath.
Honeypath. Who's your daddy? What's your daddy's name?
Brian Moon.
Okay, you're not kin to Keith Moon, are you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, with that last name, I have to ask, because I know, people with not many people have the last name Moon. So that's why. Honeypath. I love going down there too. My mama's people are from Belton. That's without a T. And you don't say Honeypath. It's Honeypath. Like honey on a biscuit, it's Honeypath. You don't do like some of these people that ain't from around here. Honeypath, Powdersville, Greenville. Never heard of those places. I've heard of Powdersville. I've heard of Belton, Belon, Belton, but I've never heard of Belton. Okay, who else? Who else is from outside the Anderson limits? Miss Poor, where are you from?
I'm from Honeypath too.
Okay, she's from Honeypath too. So I'm saving them 30 to 45 minutes of travel time. If they don't get clogged up right there, at Anderson City, right there after they get off Belton Highway. Okay? So I'm saving Miss Glenn an hour of travel time. Okay? Who else? Anybody else live outside the area? Okay. They ain't going to talk to me. We're going to shut her down there. I'm going to hit, don't leave yet. I got to call the roll. Let me shut down the recorder.